Praise God. My name is Apostle Paul Odola. My attention has been drawn to a video making the rounds that I said that Dr. Abel Damina ordained me and Dr. Paul Enenche on the same day, and referring to the fact that it was the same oil. You see, this is the same false narrative projected that I am choosing to correct. I was ordained the same day by the same man in the same place with the same bottle of oil that came on Dr. Paul Enenche. Ordained in 1996 Ministers Conference, February the 7th. We were ordained to be grafted into the branches that Dr. Abel Damina was planning to open. I have come out to publicly deny and correct the false allegation that Dr. Abel Damina ordained Dr. Paul Enenche into ministry. Looking at the pictures on my Facebook, what happened in 1996 was not an ordination service. I want to say this categorically. It was an official prayer to license me as the coordinator of ICMA in Bauchi State. That prayer was not an ordination. Everybody that was in that 1996 Ministers Conference will agree with me that it was not an ordination service. I was officially prayed for as a coordinator of ICMA in Bauchi State, and I was given a coordinator certificate and a fellowship card from 1996 to 1997 as it is on the post. So no one can claim that anyone else was equally ordained on that day into ministry. I think it is important that I clear the air on this matter and put it to rest that it was not an ordination service that happened on that day. This video is to put the record straight. What happened on that day was not an ordination, because nobody should lay claim to another man's greatness and impact. I was given a certificate as a coordinator for ICMA in Bauchi State and a card of fellowship with Dr. Abel Damina for a year, the year 1996 to 1997. I think this should be able to clear the air and put the record straight. Discussing Dr. Paul Enenche with Dr. Abel Damina, when we had that discussion, you could see that envy, you could see the jealousy, you could see the hate, you could see the inability to stomach the accomplishment and the achievement ministerially of Dr. Paul Enenche. And so categorically in one of the statements he said, Dr. Paul Enenche is now so big and great and his impact is everywhere. What has he done for us? He has left us behind. So let's leverage on his name and associate ourselves with his accomplishment for the purpose of relevance. Odola, you that you are even coming into Abuja now, it will be easier for you to gain acceptance if you say that Dr. Abel ordained you and Paul Enenche the same day. That will give you general acceptance. And you see, that is the same fallacy. That is the same false narrative that I felt I was tired of projecting, and the pressure to perpetually put it out there, that I had to reconsider my decisions and my association, so that I don't keep propagating this false narrative born out of hate, jealousy, envy for a man's accomplishment, attainment, ministerial achievement, and global impact. And so anybody that listens to the manner and approach with which Dr. Abel communicates this ordination claim can easily tell the envy, can easily point at the jealousy, can easily see the intent and purpose for which such false claims have been made. And so therefore, I think it is my responsibility to put the record straight. And so therefore, I want to say this, that no amount of blackmail, no amount of false publication, no amount of wrong impression created about me will deter me from saying the truth. The record needs to be put straight so that we don't undermine in any way, in any form, the great work that God is using Dr. Paul Enenche to do in our time and in our generation. I won't be part of it. And I need you to know that if you look at the accomplishment of this great man and the impact he's making in our generation, his manner of crusades, his healing and deliverances, his lifestyle, his approach to ministry, his principles, his forthrightness, his uprightness, it does not in any way reflect the person and ministry of Dr. Abel Damina. So therefore, we should not allow that lie to fly. I feel I owe my generation the responsibility to correct that. I want to categorically state that I don't subscribe to the religious, to the doctrinal teachings of Dr. Abel Damina and the manner and approach with which he communicates them arrogantly, disrespectfully, undermining the pillars, the spiritual practices I have come to uphold and refer as a pastor and as a Christian. And I want to say this also, that doctrinal teachings has completely done damage to my family. And I want to ask that Dr. Abel Damina leave my family alone. To encourage another man's wife to be arrogant, insubordinate, rebellious, and to attend your crusade personally without the express permission of her husband, whether it's in the Tafabalawa crusade in Bauchi State without my permission, or it was the Just crusade you held and she went without my permission. I want to know, I want the world to know that no man of God will encourage another man's wife to be so insubordinate, to be so arrogant, to be so rebellious. So please, if anything happens to my family, I want to say at this point that Dr. Abel Damina should be held responsible, because he is encouraging and supporting certain level of insubordination and lack of submission and rebellious approach to family issues. And if anything happens further, I think he should be held responsible. I want to also say categorically that I have asked my lawyer to review all the comments, all the posts, all the rebellious allegations against me, and anyone found to be unfounded, which virtually all are, I am going to take them legally on without reservation. And so if anybody is putting any claim out there, it should be ready and should have proper evidences for them. Otherwise, we will meet in court. It's important that we clear the air so that we can put this fallacy to rest and not give credibility to lie. Even though ab initio, I was part of that misconception and part of that false narrative, and I've chosen to retract my step for the purpose of posterity. And I believe this should do justice to everyone who knows the truth, wants the truth, and cares for the truth.